Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Torchy's Wonderland, and it is a wonderland indeed. We have diamonds! So, we are done. We are out of torches. So, today, I'm going to tell you a little story. Here we go. Yes, this is what you've been waiting for. The story within the game. So, once upon a time, there was a boy. A little boy. A tiny little boy, maybe the smallest boy that ever lived. And his name was Aaron. That's right. Aaron Zippy Pants. And he was quite a boy. Well, he could do everything. He was small, but he was spry, and he could do all kinds of acrobatics and play whatever game or sport you wanted to play, except maybe tackle football. And boy, he had all the friends in the world. He was a tiny little guy, a boy. He was probably about, let's say, he was about 8 years old. Yeah, that's right. And he had the best life ever. Size didn't matter to him. He was just that good. He had it all. He was living the dream. At 8 years old, he was living the dream. And one day, much to his chagrin, it all came crashing down around him. That's right. He couldn't keep it up. He just couldn't make the happiness last, because what happened? The bully came into town. That's right. Rex, Stupid Head. Now, I'm not making these names up on the fly. These are legitimate names of characters. We have Aaron, and I don't even remember his last name. I think it was Long Skippy. I think a spider's about to eat my head. Probably shouldn't have made the bed so close to the edge there. So, Aaron, like I said, he was high on life. Things were going great for him until Rex. There was before Rex and after Rex. And the time after Rex, it was terrible. All Rex liked to do was to pick on Aaron. He liked to pick on everybody, but Aaron especially. He made fun of his size, the fact that he was a little guy, and Aaron, he was a little bit used to being picked on. Everybody picks on people. He got a little bit of joking around from the guys, but he wasn't used to the kind of bullying that Rex liked to engage in. And so it was a little bit more extreme than what poor little Aaron had been used to. So what was the bullying like, you ask? Well, let me give you some examples. So, it's one thing to just say, nah, call people names, but Rex's bullying kind of went beyond that to some extent. He would not only call little Aaron names, but he would also play pranks on him whenever he got the chance. He would do all kinds of crazy stuff. He would steal Aaron's backpack and then hang it up in a tree where Aaron couldn't reach it. He would dig little pits and cover them up with leaves, and Aaron would fall in them and get hurt. Oh, that was awful. He would, he'd do all kinds of stuff. He would invent really cool games and then not let Aaron play them at all. He would just play them with everybody else except Aaron. Nobody knew really why he had it in for Aaron. Um, I mean, Aaron was a really small little boy, so excuse me. So it was clear. I mean, you understood why he got picked on a little bit by the town bully, but really, it just went way beyond the pale. Um, Much more bullying than anybody should ever be expected to receive. Um, so, what was poor Aaron to do? I mean, he was beside himself. I mean, he had had such a great life with so many friends and so much fun, and now it seemed like his friends weren't really sticking up for him. I mean, maybe they were scared of Rex too, and so they were kind of just playing it safe, standing on the sidelines, while poor Aaron had to do all the work of defending himself and trying to figure out how to stop Rex from all this bullying that he was trying to do. So, finally he devised a plan. He's like, man, I don't deserve this. I want to go back to the way things are. I need to figure out a way to get rid of Rex. Once I get rid of Rex, everything will be fine. Life will be good again, and I won't have any problems. So, he had to figure a way to get Rex out of town. And he kept thinking about it, and he started to put together a plan. And he worked on it. And it was the most intricate, detailed plan that you ever thought of. I mean, he spent hours and hours every night working on this plan. And and he kept thinking, okay, what's the best way to get rid of Rex? And so finally, he was ready to put his plan into action. I mean, he had it all laid out. There was no way that this thing could go wrong. So, and the thing is, he really he didn't know where his friends stood in terms of were they really on his side? Were they just fair weather friends who weren't going to stick up for him? I mean, that was clear. But were they going to help him with his plan? He couldn't count on it. So he decided to leave them out of it and try to do the plan all by himself. And this may have been a mistake, but he had everything planned out. He thought of everything that he could possibly do, and every contingency was, taken into account. And he said, okay, here we go. We're going to implement this plan, and then everything's going to be fine. So he thought about it, and he worked it out, and he started the plan. And the plan was that he was going to play a prank on old Rex. He was going to get Rex back, and he was going to make sure Rex was so humiliated that he wasn't going to spend any more time anywhere near that town. He was going to just take his tail between his legs and just leave and take off. And so he figured out a way to do this. He said, I'm gonna embarrass Rex so much that he won't know what hit him. And so one day when Rex was asleep, here's the plan. Okay, so little Aaron, the smallest boy in the world, he came and he put, I don't know if you've heard of this, he put Rex's left hand in warm water while Rex slept. Okay, I don't know if you know what that does, but That's right. Yep. Rex peed the bed. And not only did he pee the bed, but Aaron was right there to get pictures and video, and there was no way around it. When Rex woke up, everybody knew that Rex was a bedwetter. And so the thing is, though, the plan kind of backfired on old Aaron. It's because people thought it was hilarious that Rex peed the bed, but then they also kind of felt sorry for him. And when they found out that it wasn't much of a secret, but when they found out that Aaron was the one that did it, boy, they'd rather be friends with Rex than with Aaron. They said, forget this guy, he's just a bully himself. So, Aaron promptly lost any friend he had at that point. And he didn't get Rex out of town because Rex had more friends than ever. So, what could Aaron do at that point? He had to show the world who Rex really was, that Rex was not any good. Rex was a big bully. Aaron was the one that everybody should be friends with, not Rex. So, Aaron sat down to make another plan, but this time he got some help. That's right. He went into the Forbidden Forest and he found some elves that lived there. And he's like, guys, I've never come here before. You don't know me from Adam, but I need your help. I need to get rid of this Rex guy. He's a bad guy. He probably doesn't like elves at all. He'd never come here and talk to you. But all he does is pick on me, and when he makes up cool games, he doesn't let me play them. It's like he makes them up just to spite me. And the elves understood, and they're like, well, how can we help? We don't like bad guys. We want to help you deal with this Rex guy. He's like, well, I really want to run this Rex guy out of town. I want him to leave and never come back. And I want things to go back to the way they were. And the elves thought about it. And they said, well, maybe you're taking the wrong approach to this. Maybe you should focus on maybe being friends with Rex. And, then maybe everybody could be friends and Rex wouldn't be so much of a bully. And he said, nah, that's not the way to go. Friendship? What? No, the problem's Rex. None of this would have happened without Rex. So, he said, nah, what we need to do is, okay, maybe humiliation wasn't the way to go. Obviously that backfired. What we need to do is scare Rex. We'll scare him so much that he never wants to come back here because he's so afraid. And the elves thought about it and they were like, okay, well, we can do that. What we can do is the elves can stack themselves up and get into a really scary costume and pretend to be a monster, and then Rex will run away and never come back. And so Aaron thought that was a great idea. So all he had to do is get Rex to go over to the forest, and the Rex will see the scary monster, and he will get afraid and never come back. So, how to get Rex over to the forest? So, Aaron came up to Rex. He's like, hey Rex, let's call a truce, okay? You got me a few times. I got you with the whole bedwetting thing and everything. It was real funny and everything. But let's call a truce. Let's be friends. And I'll show you this really cool thing I've been working on. It's over in the Forbidden Forest. And Rex is like, I don't know if I trust this guy, but, maybe he's all right. So Rex is like, you know what? I think you're right. I think we should be friends. And, okay, I'll go see your little thing and maybe it'd be really cool and we can just hang out and have fun. and all the bad days will be behind us. Okay, water under the bridge. So, Rex and Aaron, they make a plan. They're gonna meet up at midnight on Thursday night. So they have to sneak out of their houses because they're only like in, third grade or something. So they sneak out of their houses and they go over to the Forbidden Forest. But Rex has got it all planned out, so the elves are going to be there with their scary costume, all stacked up like they're a giant monster. But it's really a bunch of elves just stacked up. And, alright, it's going to be great. And so Aaron's over there already when midnight rolls around. He's waiting for Rex to show up. And it's taken a while. Rex is running a little bit late. And Aaron's like, whoa, what? Did he find out about the plan? What's going on here? What happened? I guess this didn't work out. And he's about to, give up and tell the elves, well, I guess maybe some other day. But then Rex shows up. And he says, whoa, here comes Rex. Here, quick, hide to the elves. And the elves are ready. They're going to be behind a tree. And then they're going to jump out while he's talking to Rex. And so Rex shows up. And Rex has something with him. He's like hiding something behind his back. And Aaron's like, oh my god, he found out about this. He's going to try to play a trick on me. He's got something behind his back that's going to be terrible. And so there you go. What happens next? So Breck says, hey Aaron, how's it going? And Aaron's like, it's going okay. Everything okay? And Rex said, yeah, you know what? I thought it was so nice that you kind of reached out to me and you invited me to come see your cool project and everything. And so I thought, I thought I'd bring you a present. And so he gave this giant wrap present to Aaron. And Aaron's like, oh my god, what a nice guy. This is great. I don't really understand, why it was so easy to make friends with this guy because, it turns out he's actually a pretty cool guy. And I wish I hadn't tried to play a trick on him actually because, maybe we'd just be friends and everybody could be happy and he doesn't have to leave town. But just then, the elves show up in their monster costume. And they are really spooky. This is like a giant ogre costume with flaming eyeballs and, with giant claws and fangs and red eyes. And, this is probably one of the scariest costumes that has ever been. And so, and Aaron's like, oh my god, a monster. And Rex is like, oh my god, what is that thing? And of course Aaron knows what it is, but he's like, don't worry about it. We'll be fine. Don't run away or anything. I think this isn't as scary as it looks. And he's like trying to shoo the elves away. He's like, oh, we don't need to do this. Everything's okay. We're friends now. And the elves keep coming in their ogre costume, and they are making all kinds of terrible noises and everything. And so Aaron's like, get away, get out of here. And finally the elves, they give up. They see that the plan has changed, and they go, and they kind of run away because Aaron's like trying to get rid of them now, and they're like, well, whatever, and they leave. And Aaron is like, wait a minute. That ogre costume looked a little bit different than the costume the elves had before. What's going on here? And Rex is like, that's really cool. You chase that ogre away. And Aaron's like, well, you know, ogres don't really exist, right? I mean, that was probably just someone playing a prank on us. And Rex is like, no, dude, ogres are real. That's why nobody ever goes into this forest. And Aaron's like, what? And then the real elves show up in their little Halloween costume, and Aaron realizes, hey, that other guy must have been a real ogre. So, what? I can't believe it. We almost died. And so Aaron actually saved everybody's life because he didn't know he was dealing with the real ogre. And so that was cool. And then everybody has a big laugh about it. And then the ogre comes back, and he's got more ogres with him, the real ogre. And they're like, we're gonna eat you now. And they don't know what to do. And Aaron says, oh my god, I've caused all this. I brought us all here to the Forbidden Forest, and this is terrible. I don't know what to do. And so he says, go on without me. Go on, and I'll stay back, and I'll fight the ogres, and I'll make sure they don't come after you, and I'll risk my life to save y'all. And he did that, and you know, he fought off the ogres, and the ogres, you know, I mean, they're big and scary, and you know, there's not really a whole lot that Aaron can do. He's just a little tiny guy, and one of the ogres bites him in the butt, and Aaron's bleeding, and he's dying. He's like, oh my god, but his friends get away, and he says, oh my god, I'm not gonna make it. And the ogres finally leave him alone, and they go away. But Aaron's there, and he's on death's door. He's like, oh my god, at least I have this present from Rex. And in his last few moments of life, he goes over and he unwraps the big giant present that Rex had brought him, and it explodes in his face. It was a prank. Rex hadn't turned over a new leaf. Rex was still full of his old tricks. And in his last words, little Aaron said, I should have known. That guy was up to no good. The end. So, hope you enjoyed that story. We haven't done a lot in the game because apparently I can't tell stories and play the game at the same time. So, this was kind of a one-off, kind of just a little experiment with trying to tell stories and play at the same time. And we might try it again in the future. Not anytime soon, though, because really, it's hard to concentrate and tell a story at the same time, especially a story you're making up as you go along. So, on that note, and I think we only have one villager left out of the village. I think we managed to kill off our village, except for maybe one person. So, on that note, things have decidedly taken a turn for the worse in the game. And I do have lots of obsidian. I can get another portal. I have a bow and arrow. But the problem is, we cannot make bookshelves. You know, remember when there used to be libraries in villages? Are there just not going to be any more libraries? Is that how it is? because libraries were really cool, a cool way to get books, and I'm just not seeing that kind of thing anymore. So, are libraries, have they gone the way of the dodo? I don't know. I guess we need to kill 45 cows to get our library books, which is going to take a little while, but we have 15 cows. So, and, well, actually, we can breed these cows, can't we? We need some wheat, and we can breed a few cows. Or hay. What happens when if you take hay, you can get 9 wheat. Now, I never knew that before, because I don't usually deal with hay. But let's see something. Let's try something out. I know we're out of time. Can we get a baby cow in the house? Oh, we gotta do them both. I forgot. Yay! We got a baby cow. We just need 30 cows. All right, so we'll work on that. Hey, if I ring the bell, can I ring the bell? There. Is anything gonna happen? Hello? I saw one villager. Okay. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the story and the game, and I guess I'll see you on the flip side. Thanks for watching.